Danes ne morem biti z vami, ker sem trenutno v Franciji, delam svoj nov dokumentarno animirani film z naslovom Babičino seksualno življenje in je ful fajn. Ampak sem pa ful vesela, da boste vi lahko gledali The Right One v Ljubljani in so me prosili, da nekaj malega povem. Film je nastal v korežiji, kar je bil še kar zahteven proces, zaradi tega, ker dva avtorja in kompromisi v filmu so nekako neka nepredstavljiv koncept, ampak mislim, da nama je ful dobro uspel, da sva se veliko naučila iz tega procesa. Film je posnet v enem kadru, kar je bil zame tudi velik izziv, ker sem veliko delala kot montažerka in to pač ni bilo montaže, tako da sva mogla že v štartu koncipirati ritem in gibanje in vse neke mini detajle, da je stvar zaigrala, kakor bi rekli v filmu. Tako da prijeten ogled vam želim, pa lep večer še naprej.
Živijo, jaz sem Jukić Maj, sem scenarist in režiser filma Dear Mr. Burton, ki ste ga ali pa ga boste glih kar videli, ne vem, ampak to sploh nima veze. Hvala vsem, ki ste prišli. Jaz bi zelo rad bil z vami, pa zaradi trenutne situacije v svetu ni glih najbolj varno potovati. Trenutno sem v Londonu, ko rečem trenutno, in to je že četrtič ali petič, kar sem rekel trenutno v tem videu. Mislim zadnjih 5 let. Tudi najlepša hvala organizatorjem tega festivala in najlepša hvala, ker ste nas zbrali. In če smo že pri zahvalah, to je še tako, da bi enega Oscarja dal. You really love me. Bi se zahvalil staršem, mislim, da sta oba tam v publiki in mama, zdaj, ki imamo že to šanso, mama. Veš, tam sem ti rekel za tisti paket, če mi pošleš, a lahko še eno cedevito oddaš zraven, pa daj kar takilsko, veš, to je veliko tle, ni, ne, šte Brexit, pa ta pandemija, to je, ali pa če bi v spodnji Kongo te živel trenutno, ne. To pa ne vem, kaj bi vem, 20 dek posebne, to kdaj je za en bolj orang sandvič. V glavnem, hvala, upam, da ste ali pa da boste uživali in seveda uživajte tudi v ostalih izjemnih kratkih filmih. Živeli!
Okay, so we start with Jan Krevatin, the author of the film Birdwatching, the second film of the program. Jan, so you made the film during your studies in England last year?
Yes, that's right.
And I would like to ask you more about the use of 16mm camera, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you also, it looks like you scratched the animation on the film. Could you say a few words more about the choice behind the technique?
Right. So yeah, it was compulsory to shoot on 16mm for us. This was the first year project, but also this came with a lot of complications because this was like the Bolex camera. So every time you had to focus on something, you had to do it with this meter. But yeah, it was quite a challenging experience to shoot on 60mm. And yeah, the second question was the scratch. Yeah,
animation.
But the animation wasn't scratched directly on film. It was done on computer by Leo Chernitz. So yeah, it looks like it's scratched, but it's not analog.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we continue with Martin Draxler, who made Alzheimer Café. We can see that you really established, although it's a difficult topic, an intimate relationship with the protagonists without being really present in the film. So, could you tell us how did you achieve that?
Well, I started this process in the retirement home 2 months prior to the shooting, where I was volunteering as a, how do you say, I think that they call družabnik. It's some kind of making company guy. I don't know the translation. So yeah, it was much easier coming into the retirement home later because they knew me before. So I wasn't a new guy with a camera. I suddenly became Martin with the camera. So they remembered me from before. So I think this was a must for the process.
Thank you.
So we continue with Sandra Jovanovska, the author of the animated film Soma.
Hi.
Hvala lepa. Sandra, so if I'm not mistaken, this is your first animated film of this scale in terms of length and production value, which is really, let's say, obvious on the big screen. We sense this great sense of detail. The use of music is and the sound, it really stands out. And also the film opens, let's say, several themes. So could you give us an insight on, let's say, development of the film we saw?
You already said it so well that I don't know if it's necessary to describe. Yeah, it was a pretty ambitious project, I think, now that I see it also. It was done during 4 years of my studies, in which parallelly I made other films and animations. So I was coming back and going out and in of the project, but in the end, yeah, I animated for 4 months, I edited 6 months, I did the scenography also for a long period, so yeah, all in all, I'm glad that it's finished.
Thank you and congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
And now we go to Matjaž Jamnik and Gaja Rojec, who made the movie Nobody Told Me I Have to Love You. Matjaž, first question is for you. Since for the tension of the movie, the boy's face is so important. How did you choose him? How did you work with him that we get this what we get?
Actually, the process of casting was really long. We had this huge selection of guides, of like little kids, you know, that came to the audition. But actually, I saw Teen prior, and he was like he was the first person I thought about when we started casting. I saw him in Sarah Karen's film Good Luck Orlo. But then I still wanted to do like an audition to kind of try him out and also to see if he's really, you know, the right choice. So this was like this really unusually marathon-like process. And I think when we did it, it was like if we would shoot more, it would be a really interesting documentary actually. But yeah, he kind of there was like a moment when we were like kind of deciding between 3 kids, and then he was kind of we thought that he would be the right one, but from then on it was actually really he was the easiest part of the cast to work with actually, because it was very intuitive. I didn't have to speak to him much. We had a lot of rehearsals, yeah, with the actors, but with the grown-ups, you know. But with him, not so much. We just, you know, I took him to Ljubljana's castle and bought him ice cream and everything, and we just hung out. So yeah, it was really, actually, I wouldn't say easy, but it was really not very intellectually zahtevno.
And not so stressful for him, like the role in the...
No, he actually took it really well. He actually took it really well, which was surprising, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud for him, on him, or whatever. I didn't speak English for like 4 months, so I'm a little bit rusty. Anyhow, because the scenes were actually really, you know, we shot in the bedroom for 10 to 12 hours, you know, and he was basically just in his underpants, so this was really, really hard. And he did it without a complaint, so I was amazed. So he showed a lot of strength.
Thank you, and Guy Naya, since you just mentioned shooting, you were the DOP and co-screenwriter for this movie, so were preparations any different because of this double role?
Probably yes, but I wouldn't know because this was the first time I was doing it. But yes, the preparations were very intense because we were working on a script together, and while working on a script we were also finding out how to shoot it, and this is why I guess it's so close together.
Thanks.
Okay, and the last question goes to Gasper Milković-Biroslav, the author of the last film we saw tonight, Shekuza Coriolis Effect. So Gasper, I know that the process of making this film took quite a while, at least 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And it's also, it's one of the qualities, it's the use of the analog technique behind it. And each frame, it's unique and it's unreproducible. So could you give us, let's say, a glimpse into the technique and the concept of your film?
Okay, so it's not really analog, but it's based on video feedback. So everything is not animation, but it's just a manipulation of the signal, that stuff that appears when you connect the camera looking at its own image on a monitor. Stuff starts to happen, and I manipulated that with some old video mixers and some other stuff. So yeah, maybe like the movie from yesterday, the test film with the DCP technology, that they said it's working or it's not. It's really, you cannot really try to hack it. I tried to hack SD, or not high definition, but standard definition with the signal.
And during the process, you had the dramaturgy of the film in mind, because it's developing and developing towards the end, no?
Somehow, yes, but also I think the whole process of my work is also based on researching or capturing moments that you cannot really predict or really control. So I never really had control over this, but I just tried to catch some interesting or moments that seemed fitting to the music.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for coming tonight. Vabljeni, da se nam pridružite tudi jutri. Hvala, da ste bili z nami in lahko noč.